Today, I'm going to talk about my interpreting errors and analysis on evidence in chief dialogue that I did in my practice. So the first one will be the mistakes that I made in the interpreting practice. So the first one will be inaccurate words of choice. And the second one would be over elaboration or downplay on segments. And the third one would be misjudgment of tenor and mode. And the fourth one, I would say that's the most important one, which is backtracking and hesitation, because it did happen a lot. And the fifth one would be the lack of awareness in register and politeness. So the first example that I'm going to use is omission of midnight. So in dialogue, the lawyer said, we prescribed to recall what happened at midnight on July 17th, but instead the interpreter said, 7月17日发生什么事情? So in the process, the word of midnight was omitted. So the reasons for that could be downplay on importance of segments. So the consequences could actually be offenders providing inaccurate information to the questions being asked. It could actually lead to lawyers' inability to obtain important information or evidence from the offender. So the correct version would be 林先生可以告诉法庭在7月17日的深夜发生什么事情. And the second one would be the mistranslation of 年纪也不大. So firstly, Mr. Lin in dialogue, he mentioned Johnny 是 Western Sydney University 的老学生，年纪也不大. But instead, the interpreter, which is me, I said he is an international student in Australia and a bit old. And the reasons for that could be bias or assumption of the segments mentioned. Maybe the interpreters already have the assumption of that person being old, of this person's age. So the consequences could be lawyers producing misjudgment of the matter, or it can actually create an inconsistency between segments, which could undermine one's credibility at court. So the correct version would be he's an international student in Australia, and it's a young age, or you could say it's young, he's young. And the third one could be the omission of Yaron Najidao. So in dialogue, Mr. Lee mentioned Yaron Najidao 在追杀他, but instead the interpreter said he said someone was trying to kill him. So in the process, the Yaron Najidao, the most important element Dao, was omitted. So the reason for that could be downplay on importance of the segments, or it can actually be the case where one overemphasize the elements of the segments, and the consequences for that could be it could actually create hindrance to provide evidence beyond a reasonable doubt, and it could actually result in the occurrence of a different verdict. So the correct version could be he said someone was trying to kill him with a knife. And the strategies to overcome my weakness would be below. So that's one would be more research studies and practice to be done in legal interpreting field. And the second one, which I think is very important, would be to strengthen listening and note-taking skills. And the third one, I think it's very useful, is to develop a better understanding of modality, register, and hedging on speech acts. And the fourth one would be to try to aim for an awareness of interpreters' ethical and professional conduct and obligations. So these are my resting list. And that's the end of my presentation. And thank you for listening.